Hi, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, here to talk about the new eyeshadow palette from Tom Ford, and it is called Olive Smoke. This palette, I'm going to tell you already, is gorgeous. If you have been following me on Instagram, Daps_makeup, I've done several looks. With this palette. Obviously, I did it for you today. That's what's on my eyes currently. I'm gonna already tell you from the back. I love this palette. This is probably my favorite palette that I've bought so far in 2025. Yes, it's that good. Please still keep watching. I know I already told you the answer, but yes, I love this palette. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is, I did do a demo video for this look, so you get to see this in action. I purposely used all 4 shades, so you could appreciate all 4 shades. You know, this look, you know, I definitely brought the drama. It's dark, it's smoky, but I have to say this palette is very versatile in my opinion. You can do soft looks, simple looks, or you can go more bold. So it just depends on your mood and your preference. What I'll try to do is I'll try to show some pictures over here of some of the looks that I've done, you know, recently that I've posted on Instagram. But just to give you perspective, so like with this palette, in terms of the versatility, first off, if you want, you can honestly do a one and done look with just this green shade. Hopefully I'm posting over here. I did a look, the first look I ever did was a look where I just put this green shade all over the lid in the crease. Now I did sneak in the bronze shade in the inner corner, but honestly, I could have just done just the green. So if you're a person who loves a one and done, this green shade works because it's such a beautiful green that it just works on its own. And it has in and of itself a smokiness to it that when I blended it into my crease, you don't necessarily need the black. I use the black here to really bring out the smokiness, but even just this shade alone has some smokiness to it that, yeah, you can pull this off as just a one and done. Okay. How about 2 shades? What I love is, honestly, you can pair any of these 2 shades on the lid and works. You know, obviously, you know, with all my looks, I did go outside for just mattes to use in transition. Typically, I've been using like Viseart or Natasha Denona. You could use anybody, right? But in terms of like what you use on the lid, honestly, you can pull off a look with just 2 looks. I'll show you. All right, so like I said, even that first look, I did this shade and this shade. That was it. That's all I used. You can do a shade with just these 2. I'll try to post a look. I did a look where I put this green all over the lid, and then I used this to smoke out the outer V and inner corner. Now, I did in that look, because I couldn't help myself, I did end up mixing these 2 and putting it in the inner corner. But once again, you could have forgoed that, and I'm telling you, you could have just done those 2. Beautiful. I did another look where, similar to this, where I did bronze on the inner corner, green on the outer. You can just do that. You don't have to add the black. You don't even have to add the gold inner corner. You can do a simple look and just pull off these 2, right? Or flip it. Do this in the inner and that in the outer, right? That works. You can even pull off a look with just these 2 shades. I did a look where I put this gold, actually, I'll even tell you, I did a look where I put this gold all in the inner third and inner corner, and then I did this in the outer V. And I paired it with some nice, like, cool tone browns, and it was a beautiful, neutral, cool tone look, and it was just these 2 shades. But yeah, you can do this in the inner corner and this all over the lid. I did a look where I put this bronze shade just all over the lid. So you can honestly, it really doesn't matter. You can pick any 2, it works. Obviously, you can do 3 shades and that works, and then you can do all 4. So I actually find this palette to be really versatile. I think it's really a fantastic palette. So let me go ahead and show you how I created this look, and then we're gonna talk some more. I'm gonna first dip my brush into this bronze shade and use it on the inner third of my eye. I do just have some Viseart neutral brown shadows in the crease, but otherwise nothing on the lid or anything else. So, right, so we got that on the brush. And we'll just put a little bit on the inner third of the eye. All right, so this is the bronze shade. It applies beautifully. Nice shade there. Now let's get into the green. Right, so I'm flipping the brush over and going into the green shade. And let's do that on the outer third. How gorgeous is this green shade? Now I could have easily just put this all over the lid, but I want you to see all the shades all at once, but gorgeous. It's just such a green, beautiful green shade, and it just provides the smokiness. Like you can go and you can easily, you know, go deeper into the crease. You can smoke it out with the green shade. So here's the bronze and here is the green shade. Next, I'm going to go into the gold shade right there into my inner corner. And wow, look at the brightness that that provides. Gorgeous. So there you go. So there's the gold. So you got the gold into the bronze into the green. Now obviously you could just stop here and just do a nice soft look, but let's go into the brown, the black shade, and now we're gonna really smoke out this look. Going into the one matte shade, the black. And like I said, I could have stopped there, but we're gonna hold it. So this is a little bit of the black onto the green, and then I'm going to start to kind of go into the crease. And you can see how this provides some smokiness. So it really deepens out this look. I will blend this out, but it's a nice, it's a soft smokiness to it, but it is definitely still pigmented. Kind of blur, you know, just blending out the edges, just kind of smoothing that out. So you can see how you could create a very soft look over here, you know, quote unquote, daytime into nighttime, you know, kind of a look with the black shade. Missing the green shade, so I'm actually going to go back into the green shade, and I'm going to put it on the lower lash line. I definitely want this green to show out. So here it is on the lower lash line. I think that's cute, adding that to the look. Like I said, you know, the black is very dominating on the sides, kind of giving more of a nighttime look, where this is a more softer look on this side. Let's also play around with the black a little bit and try using this as liner. So I'm using my angled brush here, and I'm going to go on this side. I will attempt to do this on camera, but for those curious if this would work as liner now, I might have to do this off camera because I'm not great at doing this on camera, but I'll start it on camera and I'll probably finish off camera, but just so that you could see that you could use this as a soft black liner as well. So yeah, you know, like I said, I use the black shade as liner on the lid over here, and I did add the green on the lower lash line like the other side, but like I said, I just wanted to kind of show you how you can do without the black, and you know, you can go, you know, quote unquote nighttime look on this side, you know, really incorporating the black into the look versus a daytime look, just keeping with the plain neutral mattes on the eyelid. So you don't have to use all 4 shades, but there you go, a soft look versus a more dramatic deep look. All right, so I went off camera, finished the rest of my makeup look, you know, added mascara and everything. So yeah, I'm loving this eye look. Let's get a closer look at the eyes. All right, so that is the finished product. So I love the smokiness, the contrast of the green and the black and the bronze and the gold. So yeah, I think the look really came together well. So let's get back together and talk about our final thoughts. All right, so I hope you found that video helpful. So, you know, like as I've been saying, I love this palette. I think the formula in this palette is exceptional. Now, this is not the wet to, you know, my formula that I normally love and identify with Tom Ford is the wet to dry. This is not wet to dry. I'm not even sure what we call this formula. Are calling it a creme to powder formula, and although the shimmers are definitely very creamy, it's not as putty-like as the deep shade in Iconic Smoke if you see my review on that palette. But I love it. So, you know, and if I haven't already, I'll show you pictures before I use this palette, because as you can see, I've been digging into one side, so all the T's are like basically gone. So yes, the TF will not stay there as you use this palette. These shimmers, these three shimmers, they're so smooth. They're beautiful satins that just apply. They're like butter. They apply so beautifully on the lid. But like I said, like especially like with the green I've done, like I can go even blend it into my crease and it still works beautifully. So they perform well. And then you have one matte, and it's like a soft matte. So, but it's still pigmented. It's black, so it still brings the smoke, but it has a softness that you can see, like it just blends beautifully and it's just a beautiful smoky look. So like I said, I mean, obviously you gotta love these colors. But if you love these colors and you love a smoky eye look, these two shades here really bring the smoke. You can do this on its own to bring a soft smoke, or you can pull it much deeper when you use the black shade. And, you know, and I think this color story is fairly unique for Tom Ford. Now, a couple years ago, he did come out with a palette, I think it was called Velour's Khaki, and it was in his creme formula. So it wanted a different formula, but it had a somewhat similar color story, not exact. And I don't have that palette, so unfortunately I can't compare for you. So if you have that palette, you might feel like, hey, maybe you don't need it. Not that it is an exact dupe, but it still had a very like olivey color story. But outside of that one, I feel like this is very unique to any of his other Tom Ford palettes. So if unless you have that palette, you know, then yeah, you know, it's worth getting if you are a Tom Ford eyeshadow lover like I am. Now, there is one palette from a different brand, Chanel, that I will say kind of gives similar vibes that I do own. It's actually my favorite, probably like, it might be my absolute favorite, or definitely in my top three, like favorite, like Chanel palettes of all time. And it is called Blurry Green. Chanel had this whole series. It was like Blurry Blue, Blurry Mauve, Blurry, you know, it was a whole series of blurry shades. And I think I might have them all or most of them. I love that whole series. Like I said, I love a good smoky look. Even these are soft smoky, but I love them all. So it's just a great series. It's discontinued, but a great series. But I think most people would agree. Out of that series, even the blue one has my heart. That was my first Chanel palette I ever bought. I love blue. So I always put that one on a pedestal. But I think most people agree, out of all the palettes, this is the most beloved in the series. I think it had the best formula and the most versatile. So this color story would be what is closest to Tom Ford. Now on Instagram, I did compare swatches and I'll post for you. They're similar, but they're not the same. What I would say is the Tom Ford, like this shade is more of like a white gold, where like this shade is more bronzy. This one, you might say, oh, is it similar to this one? But this one's more peachy, and this is more of a golden bronze. And then the green in the Tom Ford, I kind of feel is almost like in between these two shades. And then where these two are still green base, this one has a true black. So I do feel like it is still unique, so that I have no regrets owning both. They're similar, but not the same. So in conclusion, like I said, I love this palette. Obviously I love the color story, but I think the formula is spectacular. I think there's a lot of versatility with this color story. You can go soft, you can do a soft daytime look, you can do a deep, dark nighttime look. Like I said, you can do one and done, you can do 2 shade, 3 shade, 4 shade look, and it works. If I pair this with a warm brown matte, I can make this a warm look. I can pair this with cool tone brown matte from another palette, and then it's a cool tone look. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility. The formula is fabulous. So even though Tom Ford palettes are pricey, I think this one actually is worth it. You know, Tom Ford has had a lot of hit and misses lately with the palettes, but this one to me is a hit. So yes, should you get this palette? If you like these colors, then yes, you should. You know, and you know, you could try to hold out for sales, but you know, sales are, you know, sometimes you can get them on sale, sometimes you can't. You know, he loves to discontinue palettes these days. You know, I mean, not to say that he's going to discontinue next week, but you know, a lot of times after a year, he discontinues these palettes. So maybe wait for like a VIB sale, that kind of a thing to get this, at a discount. But I probably wouldn't wait like for next year to, you know, that kind of a thing. If you're really in love with this kind of color story. So yes. Love this palette. All right, so hope you found this video helpful. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to the next video where I can show you the next item that has been added to my collection. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye.